Yeah, Rufio lives on, I love that.
Looky, looky, I got hooky.
Yeah.
Did you think that line was going to transcend for a while?
No. No. I don't know. I don't know. You forget the lines that you're doing when you're in it. You never think of any of these lines. You're just kind of doing it. I mean, that was like a cool line in the movie. My thing about that line, which I like, is I did all my real sword fighting.
Yeah, you went to classes for it.
Yeah, I studied like 3 months before we started shooting, and then I had to study like every day.
Was that on your own, or did they be like,
No,
hey,
that was on them. They were like, they had teachers for me.
you got to know how to do it?
Real fencing teachers. Shout out to Ted. Ted was my man. And then also Jan and Dan, which were the fight choreographers. So I did fight choreography training and real fencing training. Wow. So when we're doing it with me and Dustin, or maybe it was a stunt double, when I do that scene, I swipe at him, and I got so close that if you watch the movie, I cut off a button on his jacket, and I say, looky, looky, I got hooky. It was like, it was close. So we were like really sword fighting. There was moments too where they trusted me with the sword, where some people weren't as good as sword fighters, and Ted was like, just don't let him stab you, like parry everything. I'm like, those are real swords. You're like, they're really trying to stab me. He's like, you're fine. You can just parry it all. I'm like, so we were playing, you play that space in between. We're like really doing it, and choreography, and really, really doing it.
The imaginary dinner scene.
Yes.
What are you guys throwing at each other? Is it slime, Play-Doh?
It was, they were making it right off camera.
Like a cake?
It was like really thick cream and stuff it was sweet. For sure, it was sweet. But
it looks tasty.
Yeah, they were making it. We did that scene twice. I think the first time it wasn't as vibrant as Steven wanted it, and then we did it again with more vibrant. Now you can go to the store and like get these crazy frostings
they're ready to go.
Yeah.
You can probably buy them.
But back in those days, it's like, no, that did not exist. They were right outside the camera making these things, and he was like kind of more color, this and that, and then they would give it to us, and we'd go at it.
How many takes does it take to throw on your face?
There was a few. And it was funny, like that scene, everyone loves that scene. It's a magical scene. And when I watch it, it's like so magical when it reveals, and the idea of a food fight is phenomenal. Everyone loves a food fight. But again, it goes back to like your experience. Like if you remember, for me playing Rufio, that was the moment I started losing my crew, my Lost Boys. And so my feeling for that scene's always sad. But everyone's so joyous when they talk about that scene, and I'm like if you remember who I am in that scene, it's a very sad scene for me, because it was the beginning of like the end of me being the leader of the Lost Boys. You know what I'm saying?
And for us viewers, that's the scene where Peter Pan really starts to believe.
Yeah, and he believes, and it's like, so it's like, that's what I'm saying. It's like the experience sometimes for the filmmaker is different than the experience. And I totally understand why everyone loves that scene, and part of me is like, I don't really like that scene that much.
Do you have any other favorite memories from filming that project?
Yeah, man, that's so many great memories, because I was 15 at a time in my life where I was just, a young artist working on like the biggest movie in town.
Is your family on set with you too during this?
Yeah, they'll come in. My little brother played a character that got cut out of the film. There's like a slave. There was like all these slave boys that got captured by the pirates. So he was like one of those guys. He worked for months on the set also. But yeah, I mean, plus you're 15. Like you're really 15. Like you're really at that age of like so much going on, as far as there's girls and there's trouble you get into, and we're like, they're all actors. Some of us are still friends today. Jimmy Matteo was in that movie. He was in Band of Brothers. We hung out a lot. We're same age, so we'd hang out a lot. I mean, the things that went on off a camera sometimes are crazier, and then you go on and you're working. I mean, during that time, think of everything you were doing when you were 15. Like, whatever. You're like trying to drive, you're trying to, date people, you're trying to get into troubles. But then at the same token, your job is shooting a movie with all these movie stars. And so it was a wild time. I mean, weird things happened at that time. So I was 15. We were shooting the movie. I get I get busted for shoplifting. Yeah.
Were you just trying to see if you could do it?
Nah, I mean, I'm from the neighborhood. Like we I'm from like a town called Paramount, which is like Compton's right next door. Paramount's like more Mexican than black. Compton's more black than Mexican, but it's pretty much the same kind of town. That's where I grew up. That's where I'm from. One of the reasons why I got Rufio, which I found out later on from Steven, he's like, you're one of the only kids that scared me when I saw your audition and you do the movie, this character. But I'm from the hood. Like, I'm from gangs. Like, there's a reason why I played the leader of the gang, because I'm around. I wasn't in the gangs, but I know the world. You know what I'm saying? And so, but when you're around that world, you know, the rights and the wrongs, and there's a sliding scale, you know? I mean, there's kids that are in gangs. There's people shooting, getting killed. There's drugs. There's gambling. I mean, you know, shoplifting was like kind of low on the totem pole when you think about what's going on in those days.
What was it? What'd you take?
Isotoner gloves. Isotoner gloves.
Why?
It was cold in LA. No, it was that era. I don't know. There's popular at that time. I don't know, Jerry Rice. I don't know. It's like holiday time, and why do we steal stuff? It's just like we're stealing things, you know, as part of like, I don't know. So my mom freaked out. I was like, "What are you doing? You're like shooting this movie. You're stealing gloves."
This is the middle of Hook.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Like I'm still from the neighborhood. I'm still in my neighborhood when I go home. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still running with like my brothers and our boys and stuff like that. So, like a lot, I'm telling you, you're a teenager. You're still a teenager. You're figuring it all out. I mean, so you're telling about that time of my life is like we shot that for a year, like my whole 15-year-old life. So from like stealing things and getting busted, and then we got that led for us getting transferred out of our public high school, Paramount High, and getting shipped to an art high school, which is Orange County School of the Arts, like that.
For acting?
For acting. Because my mom wanted us to get, be safer than our neighborhood that we were in. And that was cool. And things like that school, weird things happen. Like that school is a great school, Orange County School of the Arts, and we were all of a sudden in a whole fame kind of thing, right? Like me and, like, my class was me, a bunch of people, very small class, me and Pedro Pascal. My class, like that's our acting class. Like that was we.
Do you remember scenes with him? Did you feel like he?
Oh, he was dope. He was always one of the dopest actors in our class for sure. He was awkward teen. You know, he was in his own awkward teenage years doing his thing, but always very, incredibly smart, incredibly opinionated, great point of views, hilarious. We did a scene together called Hurly Burly, which is pretty fun. David Rabe. And we were both not good singers with a lot of great singers in our class. This girl, Monique, was in our class. She's the lead singer of Save Ferris. You ever heard that band, Save Ferris? It was like a ska band, and she was a phenomenal singer. It was like all these great singers, and we're like, we sucked.
When you're working...
We just ditched singing class. Like, it's not for us.
Yeah. When you're working on a movie like Hook, and you're doing so many scenes with Robin Williams, who is a little more older than you,
yeah.
What kind of bond does that bring between you and somebody like him?
Me and Robin he was cool, man. Robin, I was a fan of Robin Williams since Mork and Mindy, for sure. And I loved his movies as he became this amazing dramatic actor. Moscow on the Hudson, The World According to Garp. Flubber. I love that movie. Flubber. And then one of my favorite movies of all time, still to this day, Dead Poets Society. So, again, I'm 15, getting into poetry, falling in love for the first time, heartbreaking for the first time. Everything's happening, right? We start talking about poetry. So Robin's everything you want him to be, right? Like, as far as, like, he's magical. He's magical. He's the friggin' genie from Aladdin. Like, when he's around, when he's in the room, he's so funny and so witty, and he knows everybody's names, and he's joking with everybody, inside jokes with everybody. It's great. And he taught me a lot about how I want to be on the set when you're the number one on the call sheet, when you're, like, the leader of the set. Like, yeah, you should be inclusive with everybody and know everybody and like not just be some aloof star. You should be, involved and engaged with everybody. And he's wonderful. But also, people say he's always on. I'm like, I don't on. He's beyond on. He's like in the atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? But I also had the good fortune to spend mornings with him in the makeup chair where he was just like, we were just quiet with each other and hanging out. And we talk a lot about poetry because I love dead poets. And I've been writing poetry and I'm reading poetry and he's telling me his favorite poets and my favorite poets. And, his rap present to me when we rap movies, like we give presents. His rap present to me is like a really beautiful leather-bound book, Leaves of Grass, Walt Whitman, really beautiful inscription. And I went on to continue to write poetry, and I started a poetry venue in my living room, and it was called Dante's Poetry Lounge, and DPL became DPL, the Poetry Lounge, when I brought some other friends involved with me, and we kind of created this poetry venue, which we just celebrated our 28th year.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah, anniversary. And it became the largest open mic venue in the country. And when we went to New York, became the inspiration, which became Def Poetry Jam on HBO, which went to Broadway and won a Tony. I mean, a lot of that is some of the magic. I attribute some of that with the magic and the support, inspiration of Robin Williams. Because what happened was me and my brothers and some cats in my neighborhood, all our boys in our neighborhood, we created our own Dead Poet Society in the hood. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, we have our own Dead Poet Society. And it was called 13607.5, which was the address of our house, but it's the garage. The half was the house, like this garage that converted to where we all lived. Me and my brothers lived there. My dad made it into a big room for us, and then all the neighborhood kids that hung out with us would hang out there. And that was the half, and that became our Dead Poet Society. And we would stay up all night, and we'd watch the movie, and we'd write poems, and we'd howl at the moon, and we'd go to the beach and baptize ourselves in the middle of the night in the ocean. And we would, just like the movie, we would try to inspire each other to suck the marrow out of life and to live and be inspired by the dead poets. You know what I'm saying? And we just did it with a hip-hop flair because that's the generation we grew up in. There's actually, my boys came to the set one day, my brothers and my cousins, all the fellas, and we had a hat made from at Compton Indoor Swap Meet. Like back in those days, we would get embroidery hats made, and it's like embroidery hats and airbrushed overall. That was the look, right? And so Compton Indoor, we got this hat, and it says our clique 13607.5, and then underneath it says, "Oh Captain, my Captain," like from Dead Poets, right? And so they came on the set one day, my whole clique, and we gave them the hat. And there's a picture of, I'm still in my Rufio stuff, and he's in his Peter Banning stuff, and we're in the whole crew's there, and we took a picture, and he has the hat on, which was amazing. We gave him the hat, and which is a beautiful thing that happened later on. I ran to his daughter Zelda, who did some voices in Avatar, so we have a connection there. But I had seen her right before COVID, and we were like, look, we got to catch up and get coffee. And I sent my condolences about her dad, because rest in peace, Robin. It's just sad for the world, but that's your dad. And so COVID happens, we didn't get together, and she texts me. And she's like, I was going through my dad's stuff. I was like, okay. And she goes, look what I found. And she sent me a picture of the 13607.5 hat he kept all these years. Wow. I mean, Robin Williams, dude, he's missed.